Visit 3ddentistsofla.com and upgrade your smile today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Rams have the best record in the NFC after dominating Tampa Bay Sunday night 34-7. The sixth straight win for the Rams puts them at 9-2, a game ahead of Philadelphia, which lost Sunday at Dallas. This is the first time the Rams are number one in the NFC since Week 13 in the 2018 season. The Chargers had a bye yesterday. In his first NFL start, Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders led the Browns to a 24-10 win over the Raiders in Las Vegas. Sanders completed 11 of 20 passes for 209 yards and 1 touchdown. After the game, Cleveland head coach Kevin Stefanski declined to say if Sanders will remain his number one quarterback. The Lakers are 12-4 after holding on for a 108-106 win Sunday at Utah. 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists for Luka Doncic. LeBron had 17 points and 8 assists in 34 minutes. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This holiday season, KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you and yours joy, peace, and prosperity. As we celebrate with family and friends, we're already looking forward to an exciting first quarter, packed with must-attend events to kick off the new year just right. In January, join us for our inaugural Brotherhood Brunch, bringing together community leaders, change makers, and everyday people for inspiration and connection. February means it's time for our signature Black History Month luncheon, a powerful celebration you won't want to miss. And in March, Women's History Month, we're once again hosting our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium and Luncheon, addressing the issues that matter most inside our community. From all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, happy holidays. Stay tuned for more details on these incredible upcoming events. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice, your community, your power.
21, oh, life has just begun. Got a temper like a gun, pointing it at everyone. That's his game, and it helps him to get through the day. But a voice inside him says, how much longer can I play? He's got infinite possibilities, I can see them now. It's the unbroken chains of his past by which he's bound.
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
Don't you just love Mindful Mondays? We have the opportunity to be led in affirmation, prayer, and meditation by a yoga instructor, sound bath specialist. She is an astrologer, numerologist, a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, a life coach, a sound bath giver, and so much more. Saharah Ali, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. And thank you, Dominique, for all your wonderful accolades towards me. I have to live up to that. Welcome to Mindful Monday, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with our faith, truth, power, and wisdom. Today, I'd like to unpack the sun's transition into Sagittarius, inviting us to turn inward, exploring beneath the surface, and supporting transformation for the next 21 days. We're in a great position astrologically to gain clarity, developing a greater understanding of our abilities to manifest and create. In addition to gaining personal power through faith and dealing and healing and closing toxic relationships, and know that breakthroughs and solutions are available to make progress in the evolution of our personal selves. We'll face challenges forcing us to see truth in all our choices, strengthening our power to change and accept goodness in our lives. And so now is the time to trust the innate wisdom within our soul. Like Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is about expansion. It is about the superconscious mind that gives us the divine connection to the wisdom within us to navigate from truth. And as we navigate change, be willing to allow yourself to embrace your highest good and to embrace truth, no matter how it shows up. I mean, I talked about it last week with the Scorpion planets. Believe people when they tell you who they are. And so to survive through this next 21 days, prayer is the tool. Prayer is the tool to shift our consciousness, supporting our connection to a power greater than ourselves. And it's time to stand unapologetically knowing God made us divine and powerful. And we are responsible for the happiness we seek. And it's important for us during this time to celebrate our inner light, to enjoy the happiness that we seek. We benefit by trusting it's time to release the old, opening space for something new, and to really reassess everything on all levels, remembering God's time is always better than our time. So going forward with our Mindful Monday meditation, take a deep breath. Take a breath and be here now. And as you exhale, give yourself permission to willingly surrender the need to hold on. Give yourself permission to let go. Let go of any judgments, any beliefs. Let go of anything impeding personal empowerment. And breathe. Breathe and relax. And as you give yourself permission to close your eyes and soften your heart and soften your mind and relaxing your face and your shoulders, breathe as you unapologetically reframe how you feel about yourself. Allow yourself to be centered and grounded, and allow yourself to relax. Relax your shoulders. Check in with your body, releasing any tension, any tightness. Be right here, right now, in this moment, allowing yourself to relax, to mindfully let go with each breath, to release any tension or tightness, and letting your body surrender to relaxation with each exhalation. Just breathe, feeling grounded and centered, calling on your angels and your ancestors to elevate your spirit as you sit right here, right now, quieting your mind, quieting your body, quieting your spirit, opening to receive. Give yourself permission to relax and make a promise to be unapologetically progressive in the expression of your personal truth. Allow your heart to be open without judgment. Allow your mind to receive. Breathe, relax, and let go. Center yourself, ground yourself, and hold in your heart, hold in your mind the newness that you would like to experience in your life. What is it that you need to let go of? Who is it that you need to let go of? Where are you procrastinating in embracing your wisdom, your power, and your truth? Give yourself permission right here, right now, to open yourself to clearing, opening yourself to calling forward your light, your angels, your ancestors, to place you on purpose, to help you stand into your divine right, to help you understand your power. Breathe, calling on your ancestors and your angels to elevate your spirit, to guide you, to direct you as we step into the season of truth, as we step into the season of wisdom. Relax and make a promise to yourself to be unapologetic progressively in embracing the wisdom of your soul. Relax, feel centered, feel grounded, sit with the words that I've shared, and take the biggest breath you've had all morning. Holding in that breath. When you exhale, let go of anything no longer serving you, and giving yourself permission to receive. Allow yourself to relax and breathe. And now open your mind and spirit to receive our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Listen with your heart, listen with your spirit, listen without judgment. Today, I release self-judgment, celebrating divine right action, opening my heart and mind to the wholeness within me. Today, I release self-judgment, celebrating divine right action, opening my heart and mind to the wholeness within me. Connect to the wholeness within you. Release your self-judgment. Open the space for divinity to unfold the right action for you, opening your heart and mind to the wisdom within. Take a breath, feel anchored, feel grounded, and bring your awareness back to present time. Bring your awareness back feeling grounded and centered. Feel anchored as you slowly reconnect to your surroundings. Open your eyes. Breathe, feeling ready to celebrate your light and your wisdom. Giving yourself permission to celebrate divine right action, yielding wholeness for your life, your family, and giving thanks for this time as we close out a 9-year. Take the trash out. Let go of all the things no longer serving you. Person, place, thing, items, everything. We have a new beginning in front of us. Be willing to be the light in your own life to manifest the wholeness that you seek. Thank you, Dominique, Tavis Smiley, Miles, 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic, mindful, blessed week and Thanksgiving, and open yourself for new beginnings and benefit from celebrating divine right action as you open your heart to the wholeness within you.
It sounds like we need to have an extra prayed up Thanksgiving. Maybe, do morning and evening prayers, not just your prayer in passing.
Yeah, Moon's going to be in Aquarius on Thanksgiving. You know how I feel about Aquarius. It's sudden and unexpected changes. It's going to be square Mars and all. It's going to be square Mars.
Oh, so we could have some good old family fights if we don't go.
Some real
go
good truth on the table.
Yeah, if we don't go prayed up, we could have some World Federation of Wrestling right there in the dining room.
Yeah, but the other part of that is we get to have a collective reframement of all the things that are toxic in the family circle. We can talk about, Uncle Joe and Auntie Grace and who did what, but we can also open the space to give thanks that they're here and to reframe and get some truth.
Yeah.
Get some answers to some things that, you heard the gossip, but what's the truth behind it? Why did they make that choice? Who did they have to become and what drove them to be who they are? And how can we hold the space and witness the gift that they're giving us by being who they are, or what price they paid for us to be who we are?
Yeah. Well, you got James Farr all scared. He was on here talking about, Saharah said that the souls are marching out between now and now in the beginning of the year. I think he might not have fully understood what you were saying, because I was saying people die between Thanksgiving and the New Year because of stress, and you were reframing it as people saying, okay, I've accomplished my mission. I've graduated. It's time to move on. And I think you scared James a little bit there.
Well, we have a society that has a different perspective about death.
Right.
And if we go to our ancestors and the wisdom that they had about death, they did ceremony, they burned the bodies, and they didn't hold on to that. And they understand that death is a graduation. Death is a closure. And it's an opportunity to celebrate the soul of that person. And it's funny that you put this on the table, because I was thinking about this before I came on, because, I've been watching a lot of biographies. And the question that popped up is, and I was debating whether or not I should share this, but since you put that out there, I'm going to put this out there. If we lived our lives and really thought about what is the legacy we'd like to leave behind, what is the story we want people to say about us, and if we were to die tomorrow, would somebody hold the space for our greatness, or would they hold the space for who we didn't allow ourselves to become?
That's deep. That, goes back to what you're saying about, celebrating divine right action and wholeness, because sometimes that idea of not becoming all of who we could have become is really driven by fear. We don't want to be embarrassed, with fear of failing, fear of looking stupid, of being judged. And so we don't even take the risk that we need to take to
But
manifest.
all of that is vanity, and all of that is ego. And all of that fear is a false expectation appearing real. And if you stay in your fear, where will you go? Okay? Fear is the unknown, so you don't know about it. So what about present time? Okay? And fear is a program of not letting go of the disappointment that happened in the past. So we should on ourselves, or we could on ourselves, as opposed to, okay, that happened for a reason, and now who am I willing to be because that happened? How am I willing to be in acceptance of what is? And it's the same thing with death. Why can't we accept that a soul gets to graduate? Why we have to hold on and cry for 100 years and still talk about them and cry 20 years later? And that's beautiful if you're crying for their greatness. It's different if you're crying because you have unprocessed grief and you use this person to get in touch with that. That's fine too, but what's your wholeness? What's your truth? And what's your contribution to the fulfillment of your own life? You know, like, who are you willing to be to stand in your purpose? And that's what the call of action is right now. What is your purpose? How are you contributing to not only yourself, but somebody else's life? And how are you allowing yourself to be distracted by the illusions in front of you that doesn't yield anything? You look up, time has gone by, and you have not contributed anything, not only to yourself, to your family, to your community. Stand for something, or you fall for everything. Is that what they say?
Oh, yeah. I feel like Molly Bell's answered this before, but because she's the chairwoman of the chat, I'm going to ask you again. She says, Aquarius is my sign. February 4th is my birthday. Back in the day, there was a song, Dawning of the Age of Aquarius. So is the Age of Aquarius now? I feel like you've already answered that and said yes, but maybe Molly Bell either doesn't remember or maybe she missed that answer.
Okay, so confirmation, we are in the age of Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Aquarius is the ownership of technology. Like when we were in the age of Capricorn, it was all about business and structure and architectural stuff. And so now in the age of Aquarius, we are inundated with technology. Aquarius rules mankind, humankind, but it also rules sudden and unexpected changes. It is governed by Uranus, so it's extreme expansion. So we are in this extreme expansion of technology to the point that our nervous systems can't keep up with it. And this is why underneath this age of Aquarius, and if you think about the age of Aquarius, it was, peace and understanding. If you listen to the words of the song, it's peace and understanding and people coming together. And the other part of that is to know thyself, because Aquarius is about humankind. It's the symbol of the water barrier, put knowledge out. So everything metaphysical, everything spiritual, everything that yields consciousness is available. You can Google, what is the spiritual meaning of my name? What is the spiritual meaning of my sign? So everything out there that we need to become the best humankind we can be is available. But we are getting distracted by the technology and losing the power of the world behind our eyes and not embracing the innate wisdom that created all of this, that has allowed all of this.
Yeah.
I was talking to some young kids, and their sense of self is just gone. And the sense of self is in the cell phone. The sense of self is how many piercings or tattoos you have. And that does not define you. What defines you is that connection you have to your inner wisdom and the ancestral connection you have to a purpose. And so what I suggest is sit with yourself for a minute and ask, what is my purpose? And if you just even say that every day, what is my purpose? God, what would you have me do? Who would you have me be? Deliver me to that. Everybody's life would change. And we would shift our perspective. We have to go inward to come outward. And we go inward to get the tools to sustain ourselves being outward. So
good stuff.
In this time of giving thanks, give thanks to yourself for the journey that you have taken, and give thanks to the wisdom that is available for us to receive, and to give yourself permission to connect to the truth that is around you, not the illusions. And I would just really wish everybody would just send light out to everybody and quit buying into the destruction and negativity that is being presented to distract us from our spiritual light. So on this Thanksgiving, pray. Get together and pray with somebody.
All right,
Yeah.
Saharah Ali, that's great stuff. Thank you for going down that path with us this morning. If you want to have a reading, a sound bath, maybe some life coaching, you can reach out to Elise and make an appointment. Elise is Saharah's assistant. It's 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783, or go to saharahali.com. We're going to talk national headlines now that you're grounded. All that's coming up on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. We want to speak directly to our listeners in Altadena and all across Southern California. Recently, we invited Southern California Edison to join a town hall so fire survivors could ask questions and get clear information about the Altadena Eaton fire and this so-called settlement fund. Weeks before the event, the law firm originally connected to the program withdrew, and we provided SCE updated materials confirming those changes. But despite that, SCE later stated publicly and privately that they were pulling out of the town hall because plaintiffs' attorneys were participating. That was not accurate, and SCE knew that it was not accurate. But when shown documentation that disproved their claim, SCE ignored it and declined to correct the record. At KBLA Talk 1580, trust is not an option. It is the foundation of our work and witness. It is the promise that we make to you. And so we will not move forward with any partnership that misrepresents the facts or undermines the credibility that we have built in love and service to this beloved community. Our commitment remains with the good people of Altadena. We will continue providing independent, verified information to support your recovery without interference from any outside entity, including Southern California Edison, so you don't get burned twice. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
Head to the Skirball Cultural Center for a thought-provoking contemporary art exhibition, Draw Them In, Paint Them Out. Trenton Doyle Hancock confronts Philip Guston. Explore resonant connections between the work of American Jewish painter Philip Guston and the work of Trenton Doyle Hancock, a leading Black American contemporary artist, in dialogue for the first time. While engaging with the artwork, consider the role that artists play in the pursuit of social justice. Plan your visit at skirball.org.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
Saharah wanted to say thank you to you, Miss Molly Bell, as well, and send you birthday love, even though it's a little early, but we'll start celebrating. We'll celebrate all the way till February 4th. And yes, D. Sequoia, that was definitely one of the things we needed to address today was rest in peace to Jamil Al-Amin, probably better known as H. Rap Brown, who died at the age of 82. And what's crazy about it is Black Lives Matter grassroots and activists all over the country have been advocating for this man to be released from prison because someone else confessed to the murder that they pinned on him. Someone else credibly and repeatedly confessed to the murder that they jailed him for. Al-Amin was just living his life. You know, he was a minister, Muslim minister, living his life, doing his thing, and they scooped him up and arrested him in 2000 for a murder he did not do, which he always said he did not do, and which later someone else repeatedly confessed to. But yet they refused to let him out of jail despite his serious health conditions. And this is one of the things that Black Lives Matter grassroots and others talk about all the time, we have these political prisoners that they just languish in jail. They keep them in prison despite new evidence, despite confessions by other people, despite the fact that they've served way more time than they should, way more time than could reasonably be expected, and a much lengthier sentence than they would give for people who just murder and do crimes who are not politically conscious. The treatment of our political prisoners in this country. And I think in the case of Jamil Al-Amin, it's partly because he was always somebody who advocated for self-defense. He didn't believe that we should turn the other cheek. He believed that we should fight back, armed struggle if necessary. And he was very outspoken about that. But by the time they arrested him, he wasn't speaking out. He was just living his life. So it's just a reminder of the price that people pay for being part of the Black liberation struggle, for putting their lives on the line. You know, he served time, I think it was in the 70s, for another crime that he says he did not commit. Yeah, it was in the 70s. But they let him out in 76 on parole. He was, by then he was a Muslim minister. He had a new life. He was married to a lawyer. And he actually was just living a quiet life when they snatched him up. And sadly, they never, ever let him out. But rest in peace, Jamil Al-Amin. You know, your sacrifice on behalf of Black people, on behalf of freedom for all people in this country will never be forgotten. And I just hope that part of what comes out of his passing is that he will have his name cleared of this crime that he didn't commit. It's also interesting, you know, they called him H. Rap Brown. That was his nickname because he was an incredible orator. And some people say that's part of the origin of the term rap as used for hip hop. But that's just a sidebar. Rest in peace. Rest in power, Jamil Al-Amin. And on my palate refresher mission here, Hampton University. Well, you know, it's interesting because while they're shutting us out of HBC, out of predominantly white institutions because of the repealing of affirmative action by the Supreme Court, because of the pretend outlawing of DEI, which is not against the law at all, but the president makes it seem like it is, because of the just unmasked anti-blackness of the moment that we're in, where colleges are afraid to even admit too many Black students for fear they'll be accused of practicing DEI, that HBCUs are doing well. HBCUs, the historically Black colleges and universities, are doing well because a lot of families are saying, you know what, I'll choose an HBCU. I don't want my child to have to be accused of DEI or subjected to harassment or white supremacists on campus. But even among HBCUs, Hampton University is a bright spot. They've seen a 44% jump in undergraduate enrollment since 2022. That's huge. The national average is a 2 to 3% jump. And Hampton's seeing a 44% jump in undergraduate enrollment. 46% increase overall. It is a giant success story. You know, Hampton has gone up and down over the years. KBLA, Talk 1580.
Say the quiet
Heart Out Loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. On NBC's Meet the Press, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he's confident the U.S. won't enter a recession in 2026.
I am very, very optimistic. We have set the table for a very strong, non-inflationary growth economy.
Bessent noted housing pressures, but said consumer sentiment has improved since the shutdown ended, despite frustration over high prices and weak incomes. An Ohio jury has acquitted Officer Connor Grubb in the 2023 shooting of Takia Young, a pregnant black woman. Grubb fired as Young's car rolled toward him after an alleged liquor theft. Her family erupted in court shouting, "This is not right." And Portland Trail Blazers coach and Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups heads to court today to plead not guilty to federal charges tied to rigged high-stakes poker games. Prosecutors say the scheme used his celebrity to lure players and was backed by organized crime. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The future of dentistry is here. Sprint Ray's 3D printing tech delivers crowns, veneers, and more. Same day. No temps, no waiting. One visit. Real results. Ask your dentist about Sprint Ray or visit 3ddentistsofla.com and upgrade your smile today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Rams have the best record in the NFC after dominating Tampa Bay Sunday night 34-7. The sixth straight win for the Rams puts them at 9-2, a game ahead of Philadelphia, which lost Sunday at Dallas. This is the first time the Rams are number one in the NFC since Week 13 in the 2018 season. The Chargers had a bye yesterday. In his first NFL start, Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders led the Browns to a 24-10 win over the Raiders in Las Vegas. Sanders completed 11 of 20 passes for 209 yards and one touchdown. After the game, Cleveland head coach Kevin Stefanski declined to say if Sanders will remain his number one quarterback. The Lakers are 12-4 after holding on for a 108-106 win Sunday at Utah. 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists for Luka Doncic. LeBron had 17 points and 8 assists in 34 minutes. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, KBLA 1580 delegation, your health matters to us. We know that information is power, especially when it comes to prevention and treatment. That's why we're proud to introduce the brand new KBLA Health and Wellness Hub. This online space is built just for you, connecting our community to trusted health resources, culturally relevant care, and even access to diverse clinical trials and emerging therapies. Whether you're looking for information on common conditions, mental health support, or just want to stay on top of your wellness journey, we got you. And the best part, it's all on our website at KBLA1580.com. Accessible, empowering, community-focused. So just go to KBLA1580.com and click on the Health and Wellness Hub icon, because knowledge is power and your health is everything. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Will they tell me of a pie up in the sky, waiting for me when I die? But between the day you're born and when you die, they never seem to hear even your cry. So as sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna get my share now. What's mine? And then the harder they come, the harder they'll fall, one and all. Ooh, the harder they come, the harder they'll fall, one and all.
Rest in peace, Jimmy Cliff. I love that song. Yeah. The harder they come, the harder they fall. They're coming hard right now. We're going to watch them fall. Rest in peace, Mr. Cliff. What a great artist and a great man making his transition now. Phone lines are open, by the way, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. And yes, happy birthday, Morris Phillips. He says, if I wasn't so toxic, Dominique would give me some flowers. Well, here are your virtual flowers. I hope you have a beautiful born day, beautiful solar return. HBD, okay? It's Sagittarius season, I know that. Happy birthday to all my Sagittarius. Say happy birthday to them or they might sock you in your throat. Did you all see the president meeting with Zoran Mandami in the White House? That was crazy time. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. It's like Zoran did this Jedi mind trick on the president or something. Or I don't know. Was the president like, did he have an instant crush on Mr. Mamdani? It was so bizarre. He was grinning ear to ear. Oh, it's okay if you call me a fascist. It's okay. It's okay. Let's get it over. What? What the what? What was that? It's funny. I was reading an article in the New York Times. They say MAGA world is baffled. They don't even know what to say. They can't spin it. Their tongues are tied. You know, they were expecting a big old socialist beatdown, and instead the president was acting like he was on a first date. It was very bizarre. But they are trying to spin, I guess. Steve Bannon said that something like, the president is setting him up to slap him down or something. I don't know. It wasn't really logical, but they're trying to figure out what to do. I guess the far right, you know, the ones that are already critiquing the president about giving so much money and attention to Israel, so much power and priority to Netanyahu, the ones that are already angry about the Epstein files, like Nick Fuentes, just used it as another example of the hypocrisy of Washington and the so-called, what they call the uniparty. But it certainly, I found it hilarious, but it certainly did throw the MAGA world into a whole tizzy. Oh yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about Hampton. I wanted some good news, a palate refresher for you. Hampton, basically, bottom line is it's booming. 44% up. New president, Darrell K. Williams, has been there since 2022, and he has really turned things around for that HBCU. And I think the 2023 Supreme Court decision to end affirmative action has been a blessing in disguise for our HBCUs. Yeah. We didn't really get a chance to talk about it much, but I just got to say for the record that Pharrell is tripping, okay? He made this statement that he doesn't like politics, and now everyone's getting mad at him. He's saying, do you want to be known for your getting your job because of DEI or because you're the best at the job? And it's so disappointing when people get theirs, how they like to turn their back on community. I don't know. Maybe he's always been an idiot and I just didn't notice it because I like the music. But, you know, when you're doing fundraisers for Israel, you already have picked a side. So to say that you hate politics and you don't want to pick a side, it's just gaslighting. Maybe better to just shh. Just shh. 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 Just go back in the studio. I'm not saying shut up and drivel, but you know, if you're gonna talk, maybe read first. Let's go to Dee calling us from Long Beach. Hi, Dee. Dee, are you there? You up?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Well, let's go.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. I want to talk about Latin America, and I'm going to try to talk without a script.
Yay.
I think we need to rip up the Monroe Doctrine. Rip it up. And in its place, we put a hemispheric-wide economic common group.
For people that don't know the Monroe Doctrine, I mean, it's basically saying our way or the highway. It's basically saying that the U.S. has some kind of innate right to rule as an imperial power, pretty much. And you want to
I
replace
think
it
we need
with
to
what?
invite them. I want to replace it with a Western Hemispheric Economic Community. So you would have an express passport throughout the hemisphere, and you would do right by people. It would be free and fair trade. Free and fair trade. So Juan Valdez, the coffee farmer, he gets respect too. And the flip side of that is that you teach black children. The flip side of that is you teach black children Brazilian Portuguese as a third language.
Why Portuguese and not Spanish?
Because all those black folk in Brazil.
Yeah,
That's
but I'm
why.
just saying. I mean, the Monroe Doctrine is supposed to cover Latin America. Basically, it was supposed to keep Europe out of Latin America and say those are our colonies, and we'll stay out of your colonies if you stay out of our colonies. I don't see
Well, I don't know,
what
but
would be the
Brazil-
incentive for a MAGA administration to do that.
Greater trade, greater growth, greater stability, greater peace. But I don't think he's too focused on how fair the trade is.
No.
Trade is a substitute for immigration. It's a substitute for immigration.
But you know what? It's not just that he's not focused on how fair the trade is. The guy is the grab and go president. He's trying to get as much as he can. Clearly, his aggression toward Venezuela is about their oil. You think he's going to do a fair trade agreement when he's trying to smash and grab Venezuelan oil and prop up his
maybe
little
not
fascist
him.
friends, his little fascist light friends in Argentina? I just don't see what would make a Trump administration want to do that.
Maybe not him, but the dude coming after him, the dude or dudette coming after him.
Gotcha. Well, okay. Food for thought. Thank you, Dee. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Paul calling us from L.A. Hi, Paul.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you doing today?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
I want to a couple of things I want to hop in on the conversation. First, I got just want to let y'all know I got my KBLA hoodie. Black Media is the Resistance.
Woo!
So just know I got me one and I got my daughter one, so she's rocking it at school too. So
Oh,
I just want to
that's
throw that out
dope.
there.
Thank you for supporting the station. We appreciate you.
For sure. You were talking earlier about the Marjorie Taylor Greene situation. What's going on in that party right now is who's going to be the face of the party now that guy is basically rotten in our face, right? So the play here is she's basically cozying up with Nick Fuentes, and and Tucker Carlson has done some of the same that you're aware of. So it's just a civil war going into that party. The Republican Party that people once knew that doesn't exist anymore. Those people aren't conservative. That group is technically they're pulling away from like the Trump kind of grifting, and they want to take it back to America first, per se. So she's strategizing for who's going to be the face of the party once he goes his way. And if you did notice when she did her little talk, she threw out their impeachment. So the reason that came out there is because they've overreached so much that there is a chance that even the Senate could be in play in 2026. So if they were to take the House and the Senate, what do you think is going to be on the table?
The presidency, I suppose.
And so it's all. I don't care about what she got going on because it was all fine and dandy when you basically were using the MAGA group to attack black women. That's why I don't care about anything they got going on. I care about what we got going on over here and what we're going to do to basically maneuver in what we're dealing with today.
It sounds like you do think she's going to run for president, though.
No, I think she wants to run for Senate in the state of Georgia or potential governor. I don't think she'll win either one, to be honest with you. But the main goal is they're strategizing because whether people believe it or not, that dude Nick Fuentes has a lot of those white adjacent on his side too, and they're just moving towards who's going to run this party and be the face of it once he's on his way out, which he is on his way out basically.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, Paul, but I just think that a lot of it is chaos, too. I don't think that they saw this rebellion over the Epstein files and Israel. The fact that, Marjorie Taylor Greene is now saying America only instead of America first is a reaction to Trump kowtowing to Israel and the Saudis.
Yeah, for sure. And I wanted to talk about what we have here now is not even just the Black MAGA, but really a lot of the problem with capitalism, especially within our Black community. We have a lot of those that have chosen to be the house nigger in a way, to basically turn around to the rest of us and tell us in a way, no, you're the problem. What you have going on, DEI is the problem. And it bothers me that they use a lot of these celebrities to do it, because in reality, if you ever want to know where their mouthpieces are coming from, always follow the money. Who are their money managers? Who are they around? Not to put people out on Front Street, but you'd be surprised that a lot of them run with Steve Bannon.
Interesting. I would be surprised. So they're getting their brainwashing from a real kind of original source there. The founder of the Breitbart, well, not the founder, but the resurrector of the Breitbart so-called journalism. It's really wild to watch what's happening. And I agree with you, Paul. We need to be focused on what we're doing, sweep around our own front yard, worry about what we're building. But it's interesting to watch the disintegration of the president, I think is what you said, before our eyes, and the crumbling of the MAGA, what felt like unbreakable unity now seems to be crumbling before our eyes.
Well, because he ran on the deep state thing, even though and Dominique, I've been saying this on this network for years. We were talking about Project 2025. Dominique, you were one of the original people that gave the warning signs that nobody wanted to listen to. So now we're watching almost 400,000. I believe it's more than 400,000 Black women that have left the workforce because of this current administration that's going in. I want to look at those same people that swear they love Black people and not acknowledge that we're looking at a direct attack on Black equity and Black economic power. And they're all silent now. You know why, Dominique? Because this weekend that came out, all your favorite accounts, all these things that people love to share 24/7 were all opt accounts that were created outside of this country. And we tried to tell you, and those people are silent.
Yeah, we did talk about that. And we talk about it continuously, but it's interesting that it was Elon Musk on his Twitter, his X platform, who decided to start putting the origin of the account as something we could access. We didn't have access to that before. I wonder why he did that. It seems to undermine his own white supremacist agenda. Maybe he didn't think it through. I'm not sure, but I feel like by him doing that, you can go in and see that many of these accounts that seek to divide Black men and women, or that seek to recruit Black men into this sort of Trumpian agenda and stuff, they're out of Eastern Europe. A lot of them are out of Eastern Europe.
Yeah, just a couple of things, and I know you got callers. You talked about it earlier. We were just talking about the Black celebrity too. A lot of people give passes to these people, and at some point we got to turn to each other and figure out: are you with us? Or are you against us? Are you with us when we're pushing back we're pushing for our liberation and against our oppression? Or have you decided that you're going to be on the side of the oppressors? For example, most people don't talk about how 50 Cent went to Shreveport, Louisiana, the poorest part of Louisiana that's predominantly Black, and went and did a video to those Black people telling them to vote against their own interest. And the coldest part about it is, a lot of the activists in the community that do the work in the community tried to reach out to the brother to give him an out, saying, you don't know what you're doing, and he ignored them all. And you know what he did last week? He put a post up on Instagram saying, you can leave New York and come here because we don't believe in socialism in Shreveport, Louisiana. So what you're essentially saying in that situation is, I roll with them. Y'all can all come here, and you can do what you want to do. And this is what the genius of the movie Sinners was warning us about. be careful for people that we so want to dance and jiggy with that is actually helping to oppress us.
Yeah. Really great points. Lots of really great points, Paul. I think there's not much I can add to that except for, to remind people, go back to what you said initially, which is follow the money. Who's paying that celeb? I mean, don't even get me started on Mayweather. I was a Mayweather fan. I didn't even mind that he can't read. But now it's a little bit, it's a bridge too far for me, Paul. So I think you're right. And I appreciate your phone call, as always.
Thank you, and everybody have a great day.
Yeah. Paul called me at 800-920-1580. I invite you to do the same. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
September is World Alzheimer's Month, a time to shine a light on a public health crisis that deeply impacts Black families. 1 in 5 Black adults ages 70 and older is living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD, and the risk is twice as high compared to white adults. But AD isn't just forgetting a name or losing track of time. Signs of early AD could be repeating questions, missing appointments, or struggling with bills and daily tasks. These things aren't a normal part of aging. Here's the good news. Treatments are available that may help if AD is diagnosed early. If you notice changes in memory or daily routines, whether in yourself or a loved one, don't wait. Early diagnosis and intervention are key to managing AD effectively. To learn more about AD and a potential treatment option, visit treatalsearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com to learn more about the signs and symptoms and a potential treatment option. This message is brought to you by AZI.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Indeed. We are going to be welcoming Emily and Uchenna and Wargo next hour. We have a Black Marriage Monday segment with some Africa on the side. It's going to be a great conversation. Hope you'll join us for that. Another little palate refresher here. I didn't get to talk about it last week, but I love it. Indiana state senator said no thank you to the president, and he wanted new maps from them to favor Republicans, like the one in Texas that the courts put on hold, and then the Supreme Court took the hold off of because Trump's extreme court is doing what they were tasked to do by the president, their master, even though that's not how our system is supposed to work. But as of right now, they've put the hold on hold. So those Texas maps are in effect until the U.S. Supreme Court says otherwise. And keep in mind that they're also about to rule on a Louisiana case, which could render all of these conversations moot because it automatically gives a huge advantage to Republicans by allowing them to draw racist maps. If the Supreme Court rules that it's okay to draw racist maps, which we think is what they are going to do based on that Louisiana case, then all of this is moot. It won't matter. But for right now, Indiana said, nah, we good. And they have voted that they will return in January for the new legislative session. Not going to rush and try to get some maps through to help the president cheat in the midterms. So good news and bad news, good news and bad news. And isn't it interesting that many times what we call bad news or problematic news seems to come back down to the extreme court? Meanwhile, the president seems to have kind of like just looked at a peace plan with Ukraine and Russia as pretty much just taking Russia's order. Oh, you'll have, okay, you'll have more nuclear weaponry and tanks and, got it. Yes, Mr. Putin, we'll get right on that. A 28-point plan that the U.S. and Russia made for Ukraine peace. Imagine making a peace deal and not letting the other party sit at the table, and then gives it to Zelensky and pretty much says you can continue to fight your little heart out or you can accept our deal. It's the my way and the highway peace plan. And we'll see what happens. The president acts like he's trying to do a little backtracking and give a little bit more time for this deal to play itself out. But they've got Vladimir Zelensky between a rock and a hard place. Because if the U.S. withdraws their support, it's going to be a hard road to plow for Mr. Zelensky. And if he goes along with this deal, he's pretty much just giving in to Russia. After all this fighting, that would seem like a shame. The G20 Leaders Summit wrapped up this weekend in South Africa. Even though the U.S. boycotted it, they went ahead and put out their statement, even though the U.S. had tried to threaten South African government and make them not put out a statement, which is what everybody does at the end of the G20, even though they refuse to be present. The president refused to be president even for the passing of the torch to the next G20 host, which is what we normally see happening. But good for South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. He was like, you're not the boss of me. And this is how we do it. This is how it's done. We are not breaking protocol. We're not your little punks. So they put out the statement, refused to do the passing of the torch without Trump. So now they're going to have two low-level guys do it either today or tomorrow, and refused to give in to Trump's lie, the talking point that the South African government is taking white people's land, which I wish they would, by the way, and allowing the killing of white Afrikaner farmers, which is just simply not what is happening. So good for them. Good for them for standing their ground and having, a summit as successful as it could be without the U.S. there, and with a lot of these big polluters feeling emboldened by the fact that the Trump administration is going to let them get away with literally murder. We don't have time to deal with a lot of these issues that I have queued up for you today. We'll save them for a Talking Point Tuesday. But it's good to see people here in this country and around the world pushing back a little bit, saying you're not the boss of me. We're going to go ahead and do what we can do without the United States. As if we needed a reminder, right? The EPA just approved more forever chemicals. These are the pesticides that can change your child's gender, their sexual hormones, that can cause birth defects. All these things. Now the EPA under Trump says, oh yeah, they're good for pesticides, so we'll go ahead and approve their use. What does it mean? It means in 2026 we're going to have to do our best to switch to all organic. Trying to track all this stuff. Okay, palate refresher straight ahead. We're going to talk black marriage. It's a Black Marriage Monday with the Uchenna and Emily and Wargu Alexander family. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. On NBC's Meet the Press, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he's confident the U.S. won't enter a recession in 2026.
I am very, very optimistic. We have set the table for a very strong, non-inflationary growth economy.
Bessent noted housing pressures, but said consumer sentiment has improved since the shutdown ended, despite frustration over high prices and weak incomes. An Ohio jury has acquitted Officer Connor Grubb in the 2023 shooting of Takia Young, a pregnant black woman. Grubb fired as Young's car rolled toward him after an alleged liquor theft. Her family erupted in court shouting, "This is not right." And Portland Trailblazers coach and Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups heads to court today to plead not guilty to federal charges tied to rigged high-stakes poker games. Prosecutors say the scheme used his celebrity to lure players and was backed by organized crime. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The future of dentistry is here. Sprint Ray's 3D printing tech delivers crowns, veneers, and more. Same day. No temps, no waiting. One visit. Real results. Ask your dentist about Sprint Ray or visit 3ddentistsofla.com and upgrade your smile today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Rams have the best record in the NFC after dominating Tampa Bay Sunday night 34-7. The sixth straight win for the Rams puts them at 9-2, a game ahead of Philadelphia, which lost Sunday at Dallas. This is the first time the Rams are number one in the NFC since Week 13 in the 2018 season. The Chargers had a bye yesterday. In his first NFL start, Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders led the Browns to a 24-10 win over the Raiders in Las Vegas. Sanders completed 11 of 20 passes for 209 yards and 1 touchdown. After the game, Cleveland head coach Kevin Stefanski declined to say if Sanders will remain his number one quarterback. The Lakers are 12-4 after holding on for a 108-106 win Sunday at Utah. 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists for Luka Doncic. LeBron had 17 points and 8 assists in 34 minutes. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This holiday season, KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you and yours joy, peace, and prosperity. As we celebrate with family and friends, we're already looking forward to an exciting first quarter, packed with must-attend events to kick off the new year just right. In January, join us for our inaugural Brotherhood Brunch, bringing together community leaders, change makers, and everyday people for inspiration and connection. February means it's time for our signature Black History Month luncheon, a powerful celebration you won't want to miss. And in March, Women's History Month, we're once again hosting our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium and Luncheon, addressing the issues that matter most inside our community. From all of